It's good for me because I haven't seen a
All right, everyone. Right, so I've put the staff on, we'll say point A, right?
Okay.
And then I'm going to observe point B, which is that nail. Move the instrument, set back on it, and then go back to A, as it's shown in there. All right. So I whacked it on the tripod and make sure the levels, the legs are correct, and then just level it up. And as I say, when you're leveling it, ideally you would level it, the foot screws both sides that will move in the direction of the left fine thumb. And then if you want it to move this way again, come round and stand round here and adjust it this way, and it will move in the direction that this thumb moves.
How do you know when it's level?
How do you know when it's level? You look at it there.
Oh, see short people.
All right,
Good.
turn around, have a look. There you are. This one here.
No, I can't see.
Oh, I see. It's like a
Yeah.
little spirit level in
Yeah.
there. Okay. And then how are you adjusting that?
How am I adjusting it?
Yeah,
With foot
are you,
screws.
oh, with that.
Okay.
this
No, no,
one there.
that's the slow motion,
Okay.
these ones. So if you adjust
Oh,
that,
underneath, yes.
you can see
I
it move,
see.
all right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Susie, did you see that? He was just moved. He moved it,
Right.
so that and you could see the bubble moving. So there's the bubble behind
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so it's like a
see.
little spirit level.
All right.
Okay.
And so this button here, right,
Yeah, that button.
flicks the compensator, and this is the little wire that's got a glass prism on it that the horizontal sight line goes through, and because it moves back and forward, a line of sight changes. So when you're sighting on the staff, you press the button and the whole thing should float and settle, and that's it truly horizontal. On the other instrument that I've got in the office, you can either tap the top of the instrument, tap the leg, which I don't like, or you flick the foot screw back and forward on line, and that makes the compensator move. So if I sight round there, you use gun sights at the top, line it on the staff, move it back and forward with a slow motion, focus, and then press the button. It should move up and down, and that reads 1.469 9. All right,
So
and
that's
that's the middle
to A.
crosshair.
then do we write
1.469. Yeah, I'll do it for you. 1.469.
Okay.
All right. But you have a wee look at it and you check what you think it is.
Okay.
1.469. You press the button to see it. Press the button while you're looking through it and see it move.
Yeah.
And it should just float up and down.
Yeah.
Right?
Again.
Yeah, do it as many times as you want. But basically what it has done is it makes sure that the compensator's not sticking. Because if it sticks, anything you read is going to be wrong because it's going to be pointing all over the shot and not horizontal. I remember you can adjust, the focus is this one. Oh, focus is that one if it's not. So a little bit gently back and forward.
I can see E 1.4, but nothing else.
Well, you don't, if you look at the back sheet, it tells you how to read it, the very last sheet. So you read 1.4
Yeah.
and then you're above the E and you're on the next,
I see.
you're on the next square, red square, and then you're nearly at the top of that red square.
Oh, I see.
So it's 1469, that's the middle crosshair. And you got a little crosshair down the bottom and you got a little crosshair at the top. And be sure don't to read them at the moment. It's
Right.
always the middle one.
Okay.
So I read 1469. all right?
Okay. Yes.
So effectively I'm reading back to A, so if this was A I'd be reading back to there, alright?
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is read there, we're going to move the instrument, read it again, and then we'll read forward, we'll add them up and it'll show us if there's an error. And yesterday I had 34 mil error, but I think it's because I made a mistake. Well, I'm hoping I made a mistake.
Yeah, I think that's pretty bang on actually.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah?
Yep. It's
1469.
like, it reminds me of a refractometer.
Alright,
Refractometers, do you know
So
what
what
they read the
do we do?
USG
Yeah.
in urine of an animal?
yeah,
It looks between numbers and it's like 1.0 whatever.
yeah, and you've got to
Read
adjust it.
between, in between it, yeah.
So you're making it up. So you can read the meters, you can read the decimeters, you can read the centimeters, and you guesstimate the millimeters.
Right. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah?
Oh, I see.
And again, the only thing you're concerned about this is making sure the level head is nearly level before you put the instrument on it. And then you tighten it up, finger tight with the foot screw, level it. Don't make sure anybody kicks the tripod because they put it off level. And if you level that, which is your datum point for instance, you'll level anything, everything then is related to that height and you can get proper levels above sea level. And as long as you said go around in the loop where you do the sausages, it will prove it all, and providing you add up the back sights and the fore sights, every level point that you've observed should be good. And it'll be repeatable, so you can come there in a month's time, do the exact same jobs, you'd end up the same levels. Did you read it all right?
Yeah, it
1469?
took me a while to realise that the red and the white are each
A
I
centimetre.
just went 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking, how do you get to 6?
Yeah, you got to count them up.
But once I got that,
And again, I count them up sometimes and I make mistakes. As I said, I've been doing it for 50 odd years. The thing is that when I think about it, I start making mistakes. What you need to do is focus it, read it, book it down. And you can check it, but you got to do it quickly.
Inside.
press that little button. But you don't have to.
While they're looking through it.
And then sort of just
And then you
bobble around a bit, and then you're reading the centre line.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
So you'll see 1.4 on the right hand
Yeah,
side,
yeah,
and then you're
yeah.
counting the red, white, red, white, red, white.
Right.
What do you make it?
Did you go?
I've been.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm just going to take a little picture of the side. I just want to wait a moment.
1.48.
1469. See if you can work it out, it gets to 1469.
if you look at like the 1.4 and the 1.5.
When we do the one really close up, it'll be more apparent what you're looking at, because you won't be able to see the numbers. All right? Yeah, and that's got the horizontal circle around there, so you can take angles with it. Right, so 1469, everybody's happy with that.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to move it and point there, and then we'll read it there, and then we'll move the instrument, all right? Yeah? And this is the dummy assistant, so I've used this to keep the thing vertical.
Yeah.
And I've got a little bubble at the back. You want to see that?
Oh yeah.
So it's, I've
I just
placed
put
that
my
in
little
there.
notes on there just so
Yeah.
that I just make my.
Because if you can't,
That's it.
if you can't use
I
one of them,
see.
you get it back and forward,
Oh yeah, yeah.
right? And that's good as, you know,
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Okay. And this isn't it's not a specific point there.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
a little
that
nail.
Okay, so that's your nails.
There's a little
okay.
nail at the same
Yeah,
as it
yeah.
is over
okay,
there.
Yeah. All right, so I remember the nail.
Yeah. You're going to read it and tell me what it is? Good man. Press the button, focus it, line it up.
No, that's the problem. I've got focus. That's better. Okay, so it's not straight. But that's fine.
Dearie me, it's fallen.
My eyes, that's good.
It was straight a minute ago. That better?
Yeah, that's right.
The bubble wasn't in right.
I'm guessing that is 1.50. That would be my guess. And I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, you can use that one to move it actually on the staff, centre staff. So 1507. Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
You tell us what it says.
Oh, is that 1, 5? What is it, like 151? Is that what you said?
07.
07, that's what I said.
So it's 7
Right.
divisions up on that very bottom red thing.
So yours was just 07?
Well, it's one. You got 1.5.
Yes.
Then it's not got to the top of a block. It's below it. Is that not right?
I think that's what I was reckoning. But
You got me worried now. I need to read it again. There's a line that goes all across, so that's
Yeah.
that's
I
the
may have it
meters.
I know you're worried.
I may have it wrong. I may have it wrong.
Right.
No,
Go on,
no,
you read
no.
it.
Yeah, that's what I want to see as well, the little lines.
I just
When
want to
you
look
pla-
at
you-
the
you
reading of
placed
it again.
Yeah.
On the right hand side. Is it on the right?
I have
Is
read
that
it.
sort of like in between the 2 points?
Meant to be
now?
right.
It's supposed to be
Equidistant.
okay. I was just
Yeah.
wondering. Okay.
Yeah,
All
as
right, I
it
just wanted
says-
to like
as it
have
sa-
my center. It's a center point. To
Yeah,
the,
as it said on the sheet there, on if you go to the second or third
right.
sheet on here,
Yeah, just under the top of the.
Yeah.
another one.
Just
No,
taking that as half.
next one is.
okay.
There.
We'll get there.
Do you get what I mean?
This one. So what it's saying
Ah,
is
yeah,
generally
yeah,
you want to go
now I
30
get
meters,
it.
150,
I get it.
150, yeah?
Right. Okay.
And then effectively you read A, read B, then you move that to close to there, read B, and then read
Oh, it's
back
a
to
double
A.
check. So
Yeah,
that,
so I looked
and
for
then
the
that one would be. Is that called the back? No, this one's called the.
You always, the back sight is where you start,
Yeah. Okay. This is
because you're looking back and you're going forward.
Okay. I see. Okay. I'm just. It's sort of obvious to me. I'm not.
No, but once you start doing it, you realise which
Yeah,
one's
the
going.
logic way.
And the fact that I'm shorter, to me, I'm looking at it and it's actually hit the 6. You know, you said it's just below it because it's 07.
Yeah,
When I'm looking at it, it's actually is
06.
yeah.
Well, again, with the
Is that because I'm
arise.
shorter and I'm looking?
No,
I'm
it's
not
because
looking
it's
straight?
because we are trying to interpolate the millimeters in that block.
Right.
So you think it's lower than 7, and I think it's maybe a little bit. So it's probably we're halfway each. So
Right.
because you're 6 and I'm 7, doesn't really matter. It's
Right.
how you discern it and how you think it is. We're both right, but also we could both be wrong.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not because you look, because if you look, if you want to find out being shorter and looking into something, there's known as refraction. And if you move your head from side to side or up and down and the object moves, you've got refraction.
Right.
And how you get rid of refraction is to move it off to the side, sight on infinity, so you make the focus as far away as possible, adjust the crosshairs, right? This is the little lines that you can see them as clear as anything, and then focus back on your object. And when you move your head up and down and round about, it shouldn't move because everything's in agreement, and you have to get rid of refraction. Refraction is not in focus correctly.
Right.
So it might be that it's a little bit out of refraction because we're trying to handle everybody's eyes regardless of the differences, and say that I can see the crosshairs nice and clear, but you might not and they might not.
Yeah, no, sure.
But they would want just a tiny wee adjustment on that outer
Yeah.
focus to get that to correct. Next time you look at it, if you move it back and forward, you'll see how it goes not clear and then clear. So try and get as crisp as you want.
Okay.
Tonight.
I'm getting worried now.
I got it right.
No. Yeah, but I can see where you're coming from now, and there is a bit of refraction because I saw it.
Right, okay.
So when I looked at it, I can see the object back just shivering a little bit
Yeah,
in relation to the crosshairs.
yeah.
So if you looked at it, I've gone and look over it now.
And what to do is look at it again, make sure that it moves, then focus totally to infinity, so as far as it'll go. Adjust the outer one to as clear as a bell for you. Then focus the main thing so you can see it, everything clear, and then move it and see if it's disappeared.
Okay,
And it should do.
okay. You might have to talk me through that again.
Yeah. Yes, no?
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? Because you haven't got really.
Well, it is between
detail.
6 and 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Hopefully we're not doing the wrong way.
What do you reckon?
1, 5. Yes. Yeah. I'd say about.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Well, this lady here said it was 1506.
Well, I mean, how would you? I mean.
That doesn't matter. We're talking about a millimetre.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's hardly anything,
How are
is
you
it?
gonna know?
They really wanted like accuracy. Like, why did they not put it in so much more detail on the staff? Like,
Well, you can get a half centimetre staff. So everyone's divided into half the blocks. The trouble is, it's fine when you're close. When you get far away, it's much harder to read
okay.
because you can't see any of the numbers. So there's a balance again, and this is what we like. The Americans have half centimetre. So we said that's got refraction a bit, and it is a tiny bit when you move your head up and down. All right. So if I focus forward, no, it might be back the way then. I don't know. But anyway, you go to infinity. Make sure the crosshairs are crisp, then focus back up.
It's very nice of you to say, yeah, it is nice.
And it's much better.
It's just that you
Okay.
don't see
All right.
it.
Okay, can I have another look?
Like 20. If it's wrong, an error of 20.
Is that a compensation? Just looks like a little fairy garden. Lovely.
Yeah. I don't know if I imagine it, but if one said.
Oh, no, I can't see the line at all.
Oh, right.
Point.
It might be. Try adjusting this one
No, I swear she looked at me when she said.
very slightly.
Yeah, I see it. Right,
Yeah?
Okay.
Well, like you was there.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
That's much clearer.
Right. And as I say, we're trying to compensate for everyone.
Yeah, no, sure. Okay.
Okay. What do you reckon it is
As
now?
well, Wanda.
What do you think it is now then?
It's a fraction off, but I would still say that was
6?
level with the bottom
Okay.
of it, yeah.
Yeah. Every time.
But,
All right.
you know,
Yeah. Right. So now what we'll do is we'll move it in front of there, and then we'll read it again. All right. And then we'll move the staff to there, and then it'll tell us whether this is any good. All right.
Here, do you want me to carry? I can carry that one. You... Oh no, we're not supposed to
No,
pick it up.
no, you're not touching that. Right.
So this is double checking it.
No, this is still halfway through.
So how do you calibrate this to the nail that you put in the ground?
All we're doing is checking this, whether it's reading correctly. That's all we're doing.
Right.
Right, now we can actually see numbers. Yesterday we couldn't see any numbers. And what you've got to do is if you can't see any numbers, you need to get somebody with a stick if you're on your own, or somebody to hold the finger on it. And we were between it. And yesterday it was looking at the 5, so I could see that was that a 5 or was it a 7, because it was going off at an angle. But I couldn't see, it was somewhere about here. Because I could see the 1-5 and I knew that I couldn't see the 1-4, I wrote down 1-5. 9-3 or whatever it was, and I could have been 100 mil out immediately. So then when somebody else looked, she goes, yeah, I can see the 5, it could either be a 5 or a 7, but it's there. So then I said, oh blimey, it's 1.493, not 1593. So you can make mistakes, but that was probably because I wasn't concentrating and chatting to people. But that now, I can see the 1-4, and I can see the top of the E, and it's 1 block down, 2 blocks down, so it's 3, so it's 1, 4, 3, 6. Want to have a look? 1, 4, 3, 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah? It's quite clear this time because you can see the numbers. When it's not, you haven't a clue what you're looking at. All you see is the little red boxes.
I can't see a number. I can just see a number 1. Have I moved it?
So you're sighting about here somewhere.
Yeah.
So what you've got is you can see the 1-4 if you move the telescope aside. But anyway, so you've got the 5, you got the 4, you got the 3, you got the 2, you got 1, the 0.
Yeah.
So it's 3 something in there.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, he believes me. 1, 4, 3, 6. But this is what I'm saying. So when you're using a level that's close up, it's quite easy to read. But when you're far away, it's much more of an estimation. But again, it saves you leveling it. But you need to make sure that the level you get for this is the same as you would do away over in the corner. All right? And that isn't balanced readings. But providing the level's good, the level will be good there and the level will be good there. But I wouldn't make a habit of it. And I certainly wouldn't use it. That difference in distances when I'm using a change point, I'd have it in the middle. So sight 1, do a bunch of leveling, change on the forward one, the similar distance, move again, and whatever distance the instrument is away from that point, I'll make sure that the next change point's the same. So I'm getting rid of any possible errors in the difference in distances, all right?
So the more areas you can cover, the better, more or less.
Yeah, well you could, I mean I could set up and I could level it all around there. But
It's not funny.
it wouldn't be good survey practice. So I'd survey. All right, we can just move it a little bit to the side. Use the slow motion, which is this one. Slow motion. So you move it to one side, you'll see the 1-4. Then you can move it back.
I can't do this.
Bless you. 3 times, you're going to get married.
She's already.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when it's zoomed in like that, you must.
But basically, I would survey it locally around here, then move the instrument to the middle, and then survey more stuff up
Is that
there.
what you say? There's discrepancy. You're allowed a discrepancy of 10
Yes,
to 20.
once you have more changes, yeah.
I can't read that at all.
You
It
can't?
just looks too close. I can't.
Right, let me put pencil on it. So we've got 1-4, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're 1, 4, 3 something in there.
But I can't see, all I can see is a big, I can see your pencil and I can see the line, but I can't tell where that is on there, if that makes sense.
Well, focus the crosshairs again. No, these ones. No, this one, this one. This thing.
Yeah. So like, I could count it from there once I looked with my eye, whereas it was zoomed
It's
right
just so
into the
huge.
top of the one.
Oh, it's because it's close, it's magnification of the telescope.
But what I'm saying is I can't work out from looking, I can see your pencil, but I can't count up because all I can see it's so big that I can't count to where the line is.
Right, wait a minute. If I move it back a bit, so you see the 1-4. Now, if I move it to there, you can see the top of the E. Have a look. So you can see the top of the E. So the top of the E, whatever it is 5. So you're below it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're that would be 4 in it, and above there's 4 in, and above there's 3. So that the top of the E everywhere is always 5.
Okay.
So 1, 3, 1, 4, 3, something, and you're interpolating it.
Okay. So all I could see was a big top, but
Yeah.
yeah,
You didn't know
I
what it
didn't
was.
know what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I shouldn't have put the leg on that. I should have had it so you can look at it from that side. Yeah, it's trip hazard.
So what is it? That is 1, 4.
Yeah.
4. What would that be? So 1, 2, 3. So it's 3.
Yeah, 1, 4,
5.
3.
Oh,
Right,
1,
all right.
4, 3, 6.
That's what I got.
5. Okay.
So we're all good so far?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's different when it's so much.
It
Yeah,
helps
closer.
a lot now knowing
Yeah.
what
And
that
I
means
can't
to
see the
like
line
a big
yet.
5.
Right, cancel line, adjust this stick slowly one way or the other.
The first thing is 5, then obviously it's above 5 is like the white.
So you can get it nice and crisp clear. Yeah, it's quite an eye-opener when you use a telescope and you're sighting, blimey, that's close.
Yeah.
Is it not? It must do. Do it slower, one way or the other. Let me get it, and then you can make fine adjustment. Yeah, you've lost it totally, haven't you?
You've lost the plot.
There you are. Right. So that's it for me. It might not be good for you. And just totally disappeared.
I still can't.
You can't see the line.
To see.
Oh, it's too close to see, right? I'll put my pencil on it. So you can see 1.4, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see the top of the E there.
Right. Okay.
So we're in about there somewhere.
Okay. 1 point. Say 4.
3. Because you get 1.4, 3.
7. No, 6.
Yeah, it's fine. Cock on. Another one. Right, but you got to get used to it. Once you get used to it, you're all right. But you can move the instrument back and forward just to see what the numbers are, see what you're looking at. So the E is helpful because if you only had little red squares everywhere, you wouldn't know what flipping out. You'd have to be counting up mentally in your head all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fine. Okay, so I'll move it to that point now, and this is the moment of truth, all right?
I really wish we had someone.
Right,
I've got too many things another time.
we're all up this end. So turn it round, sight on that.
So this is the back part, is this
This is the foresight, as
this is
if
the foresight.
we're going to move the instrument again. All right.
Okay. And that last one we saw then, was that the intersight?
No, that was the
That's a back
back
sight.
sight
That's
because
a
we'd
back
moved the
sight.
instrument. So the first shot after you move the instrument is always a back sight.
Okay.
This one's going to be dead easy for you. 14000.
This one's foresight.
Oh yeah, I can see that one. I like that one. That's great.
What'd you say it was? Sorry.
Oh, you see, that's a really
1.4
easy.
exactly.
That one bothered me. It was too close, and all I could see was red.
Oh yeah, bang on. Okay.
That was easy.
We like that one.
So that's quite a comfortable distance. So that's 30 metres away. So for speed, you would be surveying everything with a level 30 to 40 metres within it. And yes, you can level stuff really close to you, but the trouble is it's hard to see what the numbers are. So again, if you've got stuff that's really close and you forget to do it, you might as well change the instrument to half the but that distance or half the distance, and then back sight onto there, then take the level on there, because you'll be able to see it clearer. So as long as you remember, you can do anything. Yeah, all easy.
Yeah, easy.
But make it bounce. It's all on the bottom. Yeah.
I could see how human error could come into it sometimes, just from doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah. That's why you almost need subconscious. You know, if
Yeah.
you put a headset on and you're just reading it and writing it down,
Yeah.
you've probably got on better than thinking, what is that, a 3 or a 4? So I've added up the back sights, added up 4 sights, and it's 2 millimetres out. All right, I got 2.905 and 2.907, and that could be exactly where we were. Is it a 6 or a 7? Because if I reduce that down to the whatever one it was, 7 back to 6, I'm going to get 206. It's 1 mil different. Right, so you know there is a sense of ish about it all. It's very accurate, and don't get stressed out about it because it's all right. So I've got 2 millimetres error from sighting that way by a metre, and that way 20 times, 25 times it. So I would never adjust it, but if I wanted to adjust it, I turn that round there, and then there you can see a little screw, and that little screw uses a Tommy bar, and what it does is it forces the crosshairs to go up or down. So I've had an error that I did on your test sheet, and it was 34 mil out. I would adjust the Tommy bar, sighting on that stuff to change it to 34 mil. All right, then close it all up, and then redo the exercise, and it should be 0, or the error's gone away. It's because the crosshairs have been bashed, or it's gone out of alignment, and you need to bring it back to horizontal.
So it would read 1.434.
Yeah. But anyway, so this level's fine. Yesterday, because I screwed up some of it, was 24 mil out, but it's now 2 mil out. So the other thing we can do is we'll try and read, we know what the middle is, so if we now read the top here and the bottom here, and take the bottom from the top and multiply it by 100, it should give us a distance from there to there. All right, so we try that. And this is tachyometry, all right? And this is where, if you were going to level these grass areas, you could use the angle, so set 0 on the corner of the building, then set there, read the distance, read the angle, take the level, read the distance, read the angle, take the level, and write down the point number, the top here, the middle here, the bottom here, and what it is, and number that up, and I could then set out a grid in there with bamboo canes and be quite quick leveling it all up. So I can either use bamboo canes by numbering it and just using the level, or I can use it tachyometry and just position where I want them. So if you wanted the extra levels in the back of the Peckham job, you can either set out a grid and number them 11, or you can use the level and just take the angle and the distance and pop it down on the drawing. Yeah, so the bottom here is 1281. So the bottom here is 1.281. The middle here we said was 1.4. We'll just write that in so we don't make a mistake. And the top here is 1.519. Right, do you want to have a wee look at that?
So the bottom is 1.279, did you say?
Well, you said 79, all right, 1279. Yeah, I said 1281. Because we get 2 millimeters different between what you think, what I think. So that can give us 200 mil error.
Yeah.
200 mil error.
good. That's a whole step.
Yeah, but when you're doing a 1 to 500 survey, a 1 to
1.
200 survey, it's not supportable.
And the top is 1.5. 1, 2. It's at the bottom of the 3. So what's that? 1.29? 1.23?
Is it?
I'm obviously reading this wrong.
I said 1519.
1.5. Oh, it's 2. 1.52. Sorry, on my bottom one. Let's read it on my bottom.
So it's either 1520 or 1519. What do you want to go for?
1520.
1520, all right.
And bottom one.
You said 1279.
1, 2. I can't. Where do I? Is it the top of the E bit, or where do you go? Like.
Top of the
Yeah.
is number.
So what's the top of the E?
It's 5
5
something.
6,
Yeah.
7, 8. It's at the bottom of the last blob. Is that? It's at 1.2.
This is where your brain works in it to count up, but eventually you get to do it.
1.28.
Right, I had 1281, so it's fine.
Okay, right. Okay.
And you said
I
originally
didn't know
it was.
where to
Well,
take
originally
the-
you said 1279, so you're only a mil out.
Yeah.
And as I said, the mil with the
But
difference,
that mil means quite a lot.
100 mil.
Yeah.
And this is where people say, "Oh, climate's not good enough," but it is good enough at 1 to 500 or 1 to 200 surveys where you want to do the edge of a footpath or minor detail, not building corners, and it's fine for infilling. So if you triangulate everything that you want, hard detail, measure around the building, do chain and offset for other bits of details, that's fixed. That's all fixed, and you can use the level just to fill in.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That's where it crosses, isn't it?
It's you've got a little line at the bottom now and a little line at the top.
And the 1.4 is the middle line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 1 point. So we're going the middle line. Did you say?
No, we're going to the bottom line first,
Oh, that's
and then the
what you were
top one.
saying.
And these three
one-
crosshairs and the distances between them is the same across all instruments, regardless of what they are.
Yeah, it's just above.
And I've yet to see an instrument that hasn't got 3 hairs in it. Now, whether they ever use these dice for doing this kind of thing, but they still put it in.
1.28 is the bottom, and then the top 1.52.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, 1.256.
1.256.
1.2, sorry, 1.2, yeah, 1.281,
Yeah.
and then 1.5, 1.519.
1519, that's what I got. Top of the class. I'm saying top of the class, we could both be wrong. That one might be right.
You've got similar eyes.
That top one's 1.52 or 152,
Yeah,
and then next one is 140,
yeah.
and then 128.
Yeah, well, we had 1279 and 1281, so there's a difference.
Yeah, I can see it's a little fraction of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, so, it's
So it depends what you
Yeah.
you decide it is, right?
Yeah.
So the distance I got between that the centre of the instrument to the staff is 23.8 metres. But there is a possibility, because we got difference of 2 mils, it could be 23 or 24 metres or 23.6, depending on which way it goes.
So what am I? 23 point.
Well, you're 7, this
I
is
was
2 you
way
gave
out.
me. Well, you factory corrected that to 1280, didn't
Yeah.
you? So let's change that to 1280. So you're 0, 8 from that's 4, 3 from that's 2, you're 24 metres.
And what is it? Do we know?
Well, I don't know, I'm going to measure it in a minute.
Oh, what excitement!
Can somebody, well, if we put it just off the side, somebody could put the foot on there. That's it, there you go. $23.7. Yeah, but that's, again, we're assuming that's where the centre point is. We're assuming the zero's on the end of the tide. So it's actually 23.7. So I'm 100 mil over, and you're effectively 300 mil over. But again, what you would do if you were doing this job, you would, if that was your control point, you'd take that, freehand steady, a tachometry, then you'd set up on that point and read back.
Read back.
So you're getting a mean.
Okay.
And your mean might end up correct.
Right, okay.
And that's again another one of the principles of surveying, is you try and duplicate readings, reciprocals,
Okay.
redundancy, so it minimises your error.
Okay.
All right, so that's how to take a distance with this. As I said, in an angle you would set it on a corner or a known survey point with a zero, and then as soon as you turn it round, you read your horizontal angle, you read the three hairs, and you can carry on doing that loads of times. You go back in the office, use a protractor, protract it, set out your angle, set out your distance from your readings, and you've got your level as your middle hair. Job
I'd
done.
get back in the office and it would just be like a spider's web of numbers and I wouldn't have a clue what anything meant.
Oh God, that would have been.
Yeah, but this is where your sketches, you'd have great sketches though.
Yeah.
All right. So that basically is how to check a level and how to read a level. And you all did it certainly adequately. And that's how we can use it as a theodolite basically. But most of the people would just use it as a level. But it has got the capability of doing more. And it's been like that for the last 100 years or more. And as I say, people don't use them anymore, so you might even get, I don't think you get cheaper than 200 quid. But if you get a proper maker's name like Pentax, which is the other one, or it's called Wild, it's not wild, and it's made in Switzerland, German, good quality, lasts you for a lifetime. And my instrument, I've not checked it for 40 years, and it was exactly yesterday.
That's the nice thing about the old stuff. I see you've got Leica on there.
Yeah, it's well built. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these are Leica now as well.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, they've been bought out.
I think what it's confirmed is that I definitely shouldn't have been a surveyor as my profession.
Me too.
You say that, but there's different aspects of surveying, isn't there? There's building surveying, there's land surveying, there's
Yeah.
surveying, you know, for other measurements. There's quite a lot of aspects of different things in it. And some points can get really interesting. I was surprised that my sister was working with some company up in Glasgow, and I didn't know at the time, but they said she was an assistant surveyor, had been working in the office drawing up, and they said she had a great aptitude to be a surveyor, but because of family circumstances, she had to do other things and lost it, and she really was envious, and it's one of her regrets in life, and she's 74 now. Because I became a surveyor, so at least she had a little bit of connection in it.
Yeah.
But she said she thoroughly enjoyed the job and the company and everything. But because we moved from Glasgow to Isle of Bute and Rossi, her life just had to change. I had a great time, by the way. Right, so what else I can show you is to set out a grid quickly. And what we did yesterday is I set out some poles which we did previously with a right angle square. And what I did was set out a 10 metre angle, and then we set out another 10 metre angle, right angles from it, and then we checked between the outside ones, and we got the square or the rectangle within 2 centimetres. So it was actually proven that the right angle squares that we were using the other day, you can't get better than a couple of centimetres because it's almost not plottable. Do you want me to show you how we did it?
Sure.
Yeah? Because it'll only take another 5-10 minutes. So yeah, if you could wind that tape up for me, that'd be smashing. Make yourself useful. Write this down.
I think it's changed now. It's the light.
Right. Right, can somebody, you can see on the either the top or the bottom, the edge of the footpath,
Right, where am I looking?
and the top one or the bottom one. Can you see the edge of the
I
footpath?
can see benches. Yeah, right, okay.
So the edge of the footpath.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is look along the edge of the footpath. I want you to line this up 10 metres away. So where's the tape? Who's got tape?
I don't know, it's 10 metres.
Yeah, I'm going to hold, you're going to put your foot on tape. I'm going to go 10 metres away, and then we're going to go 10 metres that way.
Okay.
And then from that point, we're going to get right angle square again, another 10 metres, and then we're going to prove it between the top bit.
Right.
So if you stick your foot on that, lovely, thank you.
Did it sound survey? Areas, box,
Right, which way am I going, left or right?
Where am I looking?
Well, you're going to look through the one that you could see the footpath to the middle one. And they should line up if they're on line. Right, you come this end then. I'll line, you come over here. That's about 10 metres. I'll line you up going this way or this way, alright?
Right.
So just do it on that line somewhere.
Good job.
We're giving you some
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah, that's fine there. Whack that in there. Alright? So now we'll look at that one, and you're going to tell me the one in the other, where it's top square, the bottom square over there,
Right.
to give me exact right angle. At 10 metres away again. Alright?
So where I'm looking in there.
You're going to look in there now. Now if you look in there, you'll see the edge of the path roughly,
Yeah.
and then that pole. And
So
if
I
you
can
move
see-
your head up and down,
Yeah.
they'll probably align.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So if you put your foot on that this time again,
Yeah.
and what you're going to do is look at that pole in the middle,
Yeah.
and you're going to look at either the top or the bottom to line me up.
Okay. Right.
And you can probably see the tape moving away. So which way do I want to go? Yeah. Right, let me check it. So that should be an exact right angle.
Okay.
Yeah, it's perfect. So if you look at it, you move your head up and down, you can see that pole, and you can see that pole coincident above it. Yeah, move your head up and down. So the middle one is that pole.
I keep thinking it's the same pole. But
No, that's because they're lined up perfectly. Right, and now we're going to do this one. So if somebody can hold the 0 on here. So if you do the same idea, so you're going to be sighting, so 0 on there, put your foot on it. Yeah. And then I'll go to your 10 metres, and you line me up. Yeah, go on then.
I'm going to tell you to move that
Yeah? All right. Right, let. Eh?
You've moved now. It's a little bit more.
Yeah?
There is a slight difference.
Well, again, if it's half the pole width, it's probably all right. Let's have a wee look.
Have a look. It's over a pole width.
Oh yeah. So it needs to go that way.
Right.
Touch, yeah. Right. And then what we'll do is measure between them, she end up with 10 metres. More? Yeah. Right. That's all right. Right. Now I'll hold the 0 on here. Now you tell me what it is on there as a test. Yeah. What are you measuring? 10.05, so we're 50 mil out. So we were saying that pole was a little bit there.
Yeah.
Probably the same on that, but 50 mil is probably not going to matter too much on your survey for positioning your levels. So that didn't take us very long.
No, it didn't.
And if you measure and fix that point, and you could extend this way and that way, and put bamboo canes between it at whatever interval you want your levels, number them all up, and you can level quickly all this. Job done. All right. Do the other guys want to have a wee quick look? Do you want to have a wee quick look at the right angle so you're happy with it? We got 50 mil different between the two of them. So assuming that the poles were a little bit out that way and that way, and again we're assuming 0 into that. So we've set out very quickly a rectangle or a square that could be extended that way and that way. You could then measure between it 5 metres, 2 metres, whatever you want, bamboo canes, which can be done very quickly. Put them on a sketch, number them up, use a level and stuff, level them nice and easy, number and middle here, number, middle here, number, middle here. Process it, go back to the office, job done, you've gridded it all. You know exactly where the levels are. Alright? That's about it. So,
And it's as simple as that.
alright, but thank you for your time.
No, it's great. Thank you. It's so many questions.
So
Oh, I did pick up one of your cards. You haven't got it.
yeah, but not on me, they're back at the office.
It's on the side. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the thing is that a lot of it is complicated, but a lot of it is quite simple. You just take it a step at a time. And
Thank you.
have a go at it all, because I'm sure you've all got the abilities to do it. You can all read the stuff. That's a major thing.
Just about.
Yeah.
Maybe a visit to the opticians might
Yeah.
help with that.
But if I break down the stuff and then if we just take everything back to the office, that'd be super.
Yep.
All right. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you.